They told you life is unpredictable. They told you circumstances shape destiny. They told you to be realistic. But here is the truth most people never confront. If you do not command your mind, your environment will. Every morning you wake up, there is a silent war already in motion. It is not happening in the streets. It is not happening in the markets. It is not even happening in your bank account. It is happening 6 inches between your ears. Your thoughts are either architects building a future or prisoners waiting for permission. You think circumstances control you? Look deeper. Circumstances are neutral. They are clay. Your mind is the sculptor. But most people hand the sculptor's tools to fear, to doubt, to past failures, to opinions, to noise. And then they say, life did this to me. No, your untrained mind did. There was a time when a young inventor named Thomas Edison sat in darkness, surrounded by failed experiments, thousands of attempts that did not work. The world saw failure. He saw feedback. The world saw futility. He saw refinement. His laboratory was not powered by electricity yet. It was powered by certainty. He commanded his mind to interpret defeat as direction, and that command changed the modern world. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is not talent. It is interpretation. It is mental authority. When your business fails, what do you say to yourself? When the relationship collapses, what do you whisper in the silence? When money is tight and pressure is heavy, what story do you repeat? That story becomes your reality. Because the mind does not argue with repetition. It obeys it. If you tell yourself long enough that you are behind, broken, unlucky, or average, your mind will search for proof. It will filter your world to confirm your weakness. It will build invisible walls around your potential. But if you dare to declare that you are capable, adaptable, relentless, your mind will begin recruiting solutions. It will begin noticing doors. It will begin generating courage. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a product of mental discipline or the lack of it. Most people drift because they never decide what to believe about themselves. They wake up and absorb the news, the negativity, the criticism, the comparison. They let social media program their worth. They let yesterday define today. They are not living. They are reacting. Commanding your mind means you choose the meaning of events before events. Choose your identity. When Abraham Lincoln lost election after election, when business failed, when depression weighed heavy on his shoulders, he could have allowed circumstance to define him as defeated. Instead, he anchored his mind to purpose. The storms did not stop. The criticism did not fade. But his internal command remained stronger than external chaos. Your mind must become a fortress, not closed, not rigid, but disciplined. Discipline is not about punishment. It is about alignment. It is about telling your thoughts where they are allowed to go and where they are not. You do not entertain every doubt. You do not host every fear. You do not magnify every setback. You train your mind the way an athlete trains: muscle, repetition, intention, resistance. When doubt says you're not ready, you respond, I am becoming ready. When fear says you might fail, you respond, failure refines me. When delay says it's taking too long, you respond, greatness is not rushed. This is not delusion. It is design. Andrew Carnegie did not begin wealthy. Henry Ford did not begin successful. Walt Disney was fired for lack of imagination. These men were not immune to rejection. They were immune to surrendering control of their interpretation. They commanded their minds long before they commanded industries. Clarity is the next weapon in this battle. A scattered mind is a weak mind. If you do not know what you want, your energy fractures. Your focus dissolves. Your willpower thins. Be definite, not I want to be successful, but I will build this. Not I hope things improve, but I will create improvement. Definiteness of purpose concentrates power. It gathers your mental forces like sunlight through a magnifying glass until it burns through obstacles. Without clarity, you negotiate with distraction. With clarity, distraction becomes irrelevant. Your vision must be so vivid that it intimidates your excuses. See it, not vaguely, precisely. See the discipline in your daily routine. See the strength in your posture. See the numbers growing. See the conversation shifting. See the impact expanding. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between reality and vividly imagined experience. It responds to emotional intensity. When you combine belief with visualization, you program your internal compass. And once programmed, the mind seeks alignment. But belief alone is not enough. Belief without action becomes fantasy. Action without belief becomes burnout. The command must be complete. Think deliberately. Act decisively. Every day you delay difficult action, you strengthen the habit of hesitation. Every day you confront resistance, you strengthen the habit of courage. Circumstances do not break people. Indecision does. You are not waiting for the perfect moment. You are building it. Gratitude sharpens this command. Not passive gratitude. Powerful gratitude. Gratitude that says, even this challenge serves me. Gratitude that transforms obstacles into training grounds. When you appreciate the lesson inside adversity, adversity loses its power to intimidate you. Adaptability follows. The world changes. Markets shift. Technology evolves. Relationships transform. If your mind is rigid, you shatter. If your mind is flexible but disciplined, you bend and advance. Resilience is not loud. It is quiet persistence. It is waking up after disappointment and choosing again. It is being misunderstood and continuing anyway. It is failing publicly and refining privately. The mind you command today becomes the life you experience tomorrow. There will be days when exhaustion whispers surrender. There will be nights when uncertainty feels heavier than ambition. In those moments, remember this: circumstances are temporary. Identity is chosen. Choose to be the one who endures. Choose to be the one who learns. Choose to be the one who adapts. Choose to be the one who commands. Because when you command your mind, you do not eliminate difficulty. You elevate above it. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start declaring, how will I use this? And that shift, subtle but seismic, changes everything. Your bank account reflects your beliefs about value. Your relationships reflect your beliefs about worth. Your health reflects your beliefs about discipline. Your future reflects your beliefs about possibility. Master the source and the symptoms transform. You are not here to be shaped by pressure. You're here to apply it to your habits, your fears, your limitations until they reshape themselves. Stand guard at the gates of your mind. Let in thoughts that build. Reject thoughts that weaken. Feed it vision. Feed it conviction. Feed it responsibility, because the world does not bow to wishful thinking. It responds to directed thought backed by relentless action. Command your mind and you command your direction. Command your direction and you command your destiny. Or surrender your mind and watch circumstances decide who you become. The choice has always been yours, and it is being made right now. And understand this clearly: the mind you allow today will decide the life you inherit tomorrow. Most people think discipline is about forcing the body. They get it wrong. The body follows orders. The mind gives them. If your mind is undisciplined, the body rebels. If your mind is weak, habits decay. If your mind is scattered, effort leaks. That is why two people can face the same circumstances, same economy, same background, same limitations, and end up in completely different destinies. One bends, the other breaks. One studies the pressure, the other complains about it. One commands the inner world, the other is enslaved by the outer one. Circumstances do not ask permission. They arrive unannounced. Loss, delay, rejection, silence, uncertainty. These are not signs to stop. They are tests of authority. Life is constantly asking one question: who is in control here, you or your emotions? Because the moment emotion overrides intention, you surrender command. Anger makes decisions you must live with. Fear negotiates away your future. Comfort whispers lies that sound like reason. A commanded mind does not deny emotion. It assigns it a role. Emotion becomes fuel, not the driver. This is where most people fail. Not loudly, quietly. They stop expecting more from themselves. They lower standards to reduce discomfort. They trade long-term power for short-term relief. And then years later, they wonder where their fire went. It didn't disappear. It was neglected. A mind left unattended does not stay neutral, it deteriorates. Just like a garden, weeds grow automatically. Crops require intention. If you do not deliberately plant courage, doubt will grow. If you do not deliberately plant vision, confusion will spread. If you do not deliberately plant belief, limitation will take root. This is why successful people guard their inputs: what they listen to, what they read, who they allow to influence them, what conversations they entertain, because the mind absorbs before it creates. Every belief you hold today was once a thought you accepted without challenge. Challenge them. Ask yourself, who gave me this belief? Is it proven or inherited? Does it expand me or restrain me? You are not born doubting yourself. You were taught to. You were not born afraid of failure. You learned it by watching others settle. Unlearning is power. The moment you realize you are allowed to rewrite your internal narrative, something shifts. You stop seeing yourself as a character trapped in a story. You become the author, and authors do not ask permission from the plot. They design it. Purpose sharpens this command. Without purpose, discipline collapses under pressure. With purpose, pain becomes tolerable, sometimes even necessary. Purpose is not passion. Passion fluctuates. Purpose anchors. It is the reason you stand firm when enthusiasm fades. When you know why, you can endure how. History rewards those who outlast emotion. Think of the builders of empires. They were not always inspired. They were committed. Commitment outlives motivation. A commanded mind does not wait to feel ready. It moves first and lets confidence catch up. This is how momentum is born. Momentum is not luck. It is the compound effect of aligned thought and repeated action. Small actions, done daily, under command. Wake up with intention. Move with precision. End the day with review. What did I think today that strengthened me? What did I tolerate that weakened me? What will I refine tomorrow? This is not obsession. This is stewardship of potential. Your future self is watching your present decisions. Every excuse you accept today becomes a pattern tomorrow. Every standard you enforce today becomes identity tomorrow. Identity is not what you claim. It is what you repeatedly prove to yourself. When you command your mind, you stop bargaining with your potential. You stop saying one day. You stop waiting for confidence to arrive before action. Confidence is built through obedience to your own word. Say you will do it, then do it, especially when it's uncomfortable. That is how trust with yourself is formed, and self-trust is the foundation of all authority. The world senses it. Opportunities respond to it. People respect it. Circumstances rearrange around it, not because the world is fair, but because it reacts to certainty. Certainty is magnetic. Doubt repels. Clarity attracts. This is why indecision is so costly. Every moment you hesitate, energy dissipates. Focus fractures. Power leaks. Decide, adjust later if necessary. But decide. Adaptability does not mean weakness. It means intelligence. A commanded mind is flexible without being fragile. When plans fail, principles remain. When methods change, purpose holds. When speed slows, direction stays fixed. This is resilience. Resilience is not dramatic. It is consistent. It is choosing again after disappointment. It is staying disciplined when applause is absent. Most people want the reward without the repetition. They want transformation without discomfort. But growth demands friction. Muscle grows by resistance. Character grows by challenge. Wisdom grows by reflection. Nothing strong is built in ease. Gratitude keeps you grounded during this process. Not gratitude for comfort, but gratitude for capacity. Gratitude for the ability to endure, to learn, to adapt. When you appreciate your ability to handle pressure, pressure loses its dominance. You stop asking life to be easier and start becoming stronger. And that shift is irreversible. Because once you experience self-command, you cannot unsee it. You cannot unknow that you are capable of more. You cannot return to drift without discomfort. Awareness raises the standard. Now the mind knows what it is capable of, and it demands alignment. This is where transformation becomes inevitable. You begin to notice when you are lying to yourself. You feel the tension when your actions fall below your standards. You feel compelled, not forced, to correct course. That is integrity. Integrity is internal alignment. Thought, word, action moving in the same direction. When integrity is present, confidence becomes calm. Power becomes quiet. Presence becomes undeniable. You no longer chase validation. You generate value. You no longer fear silence. You use it. You no longer avoid solitude. You refine within it. Because a commanded mind is comfortable alone. It does not need constant noise to escape itself. Silence becomes strategy, and in that silence, vision deepens. You start thinking long-term. You start building instead of reacting. You start playing a bigger game. Not because you are arrogant, but because you are awake. Awake to the fact that your time is finite. Your energy is valuable. Your potential is non-transferable. No one will live your life for you. No one will save your unused ability. No one will regret your inaction more than you will. So command your mind, not tomorrow, not when conditions improve. Now, because right now a choice is being made. Every thought you allow either strengthens your authority or hands it away. And the world does not pause while you decide. It moves forward, rewarding those who move with intention. Stand up internally. Take mental posture. Decide who you are before circumstances decide for you. Because once you command your mind, circumstances lose their power to define you. They become terrain, not destiny. And you finally become the one in control,